Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wild Things Found Online. I am Vokal the Slug Cat, and we are back again with some more Big Toph. So, before I even get started, I have to give like the biggest shout out in the world to Tophia Archive. This was almost a 4-hour stream, and somehow, some way, Tophia Archive was able to cut this down to right around 30 minutes. That's how boring this stream was last night, apparently. So big shout out to Tophia Archive. Thank you for trimming away all the fat and fluff so we can just get straight to it. Big shout out to my Ko-fi members. Thank y'all for supporting the channel. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this stream and see what's cooking with Big Toph.
Hey. Yes,
what's up, Toph?
Switch. I have a Switch 2, a regular Switch. I don't have Switch 2.
Why do you have a Switch at all? That was not something that you needed to get along with your stupid Michael Jackson bucket, which she lied, because I've had many people come out and say that bucket was not $16. They say it is retailing at $50 when you go to the movies. So one, of course, Tophia is a fucking liar. We already knew that. And two, $50 for a tin bucket. Priorities, man. They are important.
I'm not that rich for a Switch 2. What game am I playing then?
Rich enough, apparently.
Playing, GTA Vice City, but not right now. I'm on YouTube. My shoulder hurts right here. I've been carrying the whole world on my back. I'm just kidding, but it really does hurt.
Girl.
I don't have ibuprofen. I wouldn't take it anyways because you become immune to it, and then it doesn't work. No, I didn't get in trouble. I have to do something when I get off, so I can't be on too long too because I gotta get some sleep. Hey, that house.
Like I said, bruh. I gotta do something when I get off. I can't be on that long. This was a 4-hour live. She's so full of shit. She has nothing to do. She just sits around on her ass. I was about to say something crazy, so I'm just gonna play the video.
House and windmill reminds me of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Oh, the things I do for love. I heard him say that. I forget his name. Marty Grabstein, the voice of Courage. My mom cried when she met him because she loves Courage, and he signed her shirt. I believe we put it in storage, but my mom said we didn't, so we might have lost the shirt in the car.
Good
I'm so
job.
sad. Oh, the things I do for love. That's what he said, and he even, I forget what he signed it. One of his sayings. It's so crazy. I never would have thought I would have met these people from my childhood. I love Courage. I used to come home every day from high school, and I would watch Courage. It would be, I think, Lilo and Stitch. But because I know I watched Lilo and Stitch, but I can't remember if it was after school. But I know I watched Teen Titans Go, and then it was Courage all the time. Oh, the things
Cool,
I do for love. How I feel about gun violence, that there needs to be more gun control laws. That's how I feel about gun violence, because how many people have to die from gun violence before people actually care? That's what annoys me, is like people are still able to get guns in their hands easily, and how is that easily accessible to people that have mental health issues? It's like, so because ever since my brothers died from gun violence, there's been more gun violence. There was literally just a TikToker who, he had a small following of like over, I don't remember, 1,000, didn't have that large of a following, but he did keep people downtown from Indian State. And I guess apparently someone unalived him, and then the police unalived them. And you can hear like, bam, 5 or 6 shots into the guy. And it's just like, it's so crazy to think because, not too long ago, a young boy who, this young boy get blanked down, I can't say it, UNDED or whatever, right in front of the food truck downtown. He's seen this young boy get, for no reason. He said there was no reason, there was no argument, there was no fighting. Yeah, I kid up. There was no fighting, nothing.
Crazy work.
It's crazy. It happens every day. What do you do? Like, I saw the boy's body that was for road rage. Like I said in the story before, we were driving to the park where the carjacking happened, but we were gonna go sit and eat McDonald's because we had got McDonald's. I always get a cheeseburger with Mac sauce.
You had it right the first time. You always get a Big Mac. Go ahead.
I think I got a Big Mac because I got the free Big Mac. I don't even remember. All I know is we were going that way to go sit at the park and eat our McDonald's. and the cops had the road blocked off, a big chunk of the road, so we had to take a detour. I look over, and there's a car parked with the door open in the caution tape. And I thought, oh, they arrested the person. That's why they're not in their car. And they're probably searching the car to see if they have any paraphernalia.
Tophia, you're dumb. If they don't break out caution tape when they pull someone over and they're just searching the car. Like, just a person with absolutely no real world experience. This is crazy.
That's what I thought. Then I looked and saw this sheet on the road. It was a body covered up with a sheet, and I knew that it was a dead body. And at that point, I just kind of freaked out a little bit because I'm like, oh my God. And then she looked at me, she was like, what? And I said, that was a dead body. And then I saw in the news, it was a 19-year-old boy. The guy got angry in a road rage, and he brake checked him, made a U-turn, spewed at him, and then took off. Mind you, they caught him because he kept driving back to the crime scene in a silver Mustang, and they caught him because he kept going back to the crime scene. We're doing okay. I'm not.
That's crazy.
We're doing all right. I still struggle. Grief is very hard. I grieve a lot. I miss my brother, and it's hard to process that he's not alive.
Man, shut up. Shut the fuck up. It has been a year and a half. I'm so tired of you bringing this up. Oh, it's so hard to grieve. Like, girl, move around. I don't know what to tell you. It's been plenty of time. Of course, it's always gonna hurt, but it's you know, it's still hard. Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
I just had to tell myself that my brother's, like I told myself the other day, he's dead. And that replayed in my head, and it was hard because he's dead. How do you, like, I saw my brother die in front of me. That is.
No, you didn't. You saw him when he was already dead, but go ahead.
Something that I can never get out of my head. And then people saying that I'm responsible for my brother's death is very hard. I was asleep trying to survive.
Oh, yes. I almost forgot. So we have this amazing clip. I guess I'll add this in so we can stretch this video out a little bit. We have this clip that Tophia posted on her TikTok. Okay, so before we get started, big shout out to Sabby Baby. The girl that is in the picture, that's Sabby Baby. She's actually one of my viewers here. I'm sure she'll be in the comments. Tell her, give her a big hello and a high five for calling Tophia on her bullshit. Tophia decided to make a 7-minute rant because Sabby was the one that was like, yeah, Tophia is essentially responsible for her brother's untimely passing. And, you know, this video is already a bit on the short side, so I figured we should probably put this in. You know, we got one of our community members featured here on Big Toph's page. So let's see what Tophia has to say about this whole situation here.
The lack of no post on Facebook and this face right here says everything I need to know. So this person asked the question saying if I was someone that got my brother unalived, if I was a girl who got my brother unalived and my mama was not unalived. She agreed and said, yeah, first of all, you don't know nothing.
Well, see, Tophia, that's where you're wrong. We know everything because you tell us everything. So again, like I said, when you had your best month on TikTok ever, and you made $3,000 2 months before the carjacking, but you didn't put any of that money towards getting an apartment, getting into a new long stay hotel motel situation, none of that. Yeah, I'm riding with Sabby on this one. Let's go.
You was not there. If I got my brother unalived, why am I not sitting in jail?
Wow.
Why have I not been charged?
Because when people say that you got your brother unalived, they're not saying you are the direct cause. They're not saying that you were the gunman, you idiot. All right, I know you're not smart, but I know you can contextualize things, right? I would fucking hope so. Miss 7th grade reading level. Okay? We say that you're responsible because there's no reason that y'all were still living in a car months later. That's why we on y'all's ass. Okay? It is your fault. You came on here bragging about making all that money in January, but you didn't use any of it to get the fuck out of the car. $3,000 would have been more than enough money for y'all to get a studio, a 1-bedroom, maybe even a 2-bedroom. If you couldn't get an apartment, you could have fucking got yourself back into a different motel or something. But since you like to just waste all of your money, y'all stayed in the car. And since y'all stayed in the car, y'all was out there in the car 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when the carjacking happened, instead of being inside where y'all would have been safe and this could have been avoided.
Ask yourself this question. I'm a minority. I'm a person of color. Wouldn't you think that I would face some charges?
You're stupid.
And let's not lie. Let's not say that, because, you know, that would be true. Don't make excuses or try to dance around the fact, oh, you're not charged because of da-da-da-da-da. Why am I not sitting in jail?
You're dumb.
Why am I receiving help? Why did CVRC, the Crime Victims Unit, pay up to $6,000 for my brother's service? Why did they give us up to $6,000 for a service and help us get into a shelter if I even remotely had anything to do with...
Why you keep making these stupid ass faces? Why the fuck you keep putting your finger on your lips, making this dumbass face while you're talking about this? You're like, she's so weird. And some days I really just can't stand it, but continue.
My brother's crime. My brother was murdered because some guy tried to jack our car while we were sleeping. I was asleep. I didn't know who this guy was. Apparently his name is something Garcia. A lot of Garcias, if you know the last name, are connected to a lot of crime. So there's that. A lot of
Wow. Wow, Tophia. I mean, look, man, that sounds pretty damn racist to me, Tophia. You're never beating the allegations again. Like, what? A lot of Garcias are responsible for crime or tied to crime. That is the most racist, stereotypical shit I've ever heard. But okay, continue.
Garcias are connected to a lot of crime. They do a lot of things. The last name Garcia is connected to that. So I don't even...
And it's pretty crazy because I feel like I would know the name of the person that murked one of my family members. And Tophia, she thinks his last name is Garcia. She doesn't even know the name of the man that took her brother from her because she doesn't care. She does not care whatsoever. Just insane.
Have to explain anything with that because of certain situations, like Garcias are connected. Anyways,
right.
He decided, because he was fleeing police, he ditched an SUV in the park and came upon our car, shot my brother in the head, shot my mom in the face, and tried to rip me out of the window. Did not know this man. This man didn't say anything. This man was angry. He just kept trying to get into the car because he was already running from the police, so his adrenaline was high. People who have...
His adrenaline was high. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Continue.
Their adrenaline is high, especially if he was probably out of it. He hopped up on drugs. If he was probably doped up or whatever drug he was on. I don't know if he was on any drugs, but he probably was on some drugs. He probably was, his adrenaline was going. He was running from the police. He ditched the SUV in the park. He happened upon our car and he jacked it. That's why the police showed up as fast as they did when I called them, and the ambulance was already there.
Okay.
Because they were already chasing this guy. I had no connection to this guy. I had no connection to my brother's unalive meant I was just homeless and sleeping in my car. And you said that I got my brother unalived because I was homeless. Homeless people do not deserve to go through violence, period.
No one said homeless people deserve to go through violence, but we're making the logical connection of, since you didn't want to get off your ass and go work a regular job so you could help your brother who was not only working a job but also door dashing. That's the reason that y'all were still sleeping in a car, is because they had an anchor named Tophia dragging them down.
You've got a lovely home. It must be nice to live in a house. Oh,
Don't be salty.
I got my brother unalived because I didn't have a job. What does jobs have anything to do with gun violence? That's like you saying all the people that went through gun violence, all the kids that got unalived just for going to school being shot up, it's their parents' fault. Because why? What if those parents didn't have a job? We don't know why people don't have a job. We don't know why people don't have a place to live, and
Yeah, but we know why you don't have a job. It's because you willfully just refuse to work. So again, I'm still blaming you. A part of your brother's passing is your fault. You didn't pull the trigger. You didn't set it up, but there was no reason that y'all was in that situation because of you.
they should have a place to live. No one should be homeless. I think homelessness should not be a thing. But you said that, and I'm trying to keep it classy. I'm trying to keep my composure and not cry, because I don't need to cry over someone who is a nobody. I don't need to cry over someone I don't know that looks like this.
Tophia, girl, come on. Come on. Oh, I know you're like, Tophia, you cannot use looks. You cannot use someone's looks as any type of a standard to judge someone on, okay? Out here Jabba the Hutt maxing. Stop it.
You have a sorry ass looking face. And I think you're a disappointment to your family. I think you have low self-esteem. I think that you don't feel good about yourself. I think that you are putting your problems onto other people. You don't know my situation, but you chose to chime in and say that I unalived my brother when I didn't.
But see, that's where you're wrong. She knows your situation because she watches your boy. And I be keeping up with you, Toph. I know all the scoop. I know all the deets. I got all the info, girl. I've been doing this for some time now. I've been putting my time in. She knows all about you. We all do. Because you can't stop running your fucking mouth and telling us everything about your personal life.
Maybe you need a whole reality check. How you gonna be on Facebook doing this in the comment sections, but you don't even post not near nothing on your Facebook page is empty?
Like, what does that have to do with anything? I don't barely post on Facebook. I barely post on social media at all. I'm damn near a ghost at this point. Most of my Facebook posts are probably from like 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Just like your soul, just like your heart, empty, black, hateful,
like your eyes,
ugly. Mm-hmm. Because if you act ugly on the inside, it shows on the outside.
Tophia, look at this stupid face she's making. This is like projection to the max. Projection maxing. She literally just detailed herself, and that's why she's got that stupid look on her face.
Every day, I have to see comments of people blaming me for something that was out of my control, because gun violence happens every day.
You'll
what if my
to be
brother
blamed.
had got a gun? He still would have not been here, because we were asleep. All because we were sleeping by the park. My brother deserves not to be here. My mom deserves to not walk normally.
No, Tophia. Well, see, what your brother and mom deserved was a sister that would have gotten off their ass, or a sister and a daughter that would have gotten off their ass and contributed to getting them out of sleeping in a fucking car. There's no reason why two grown-ass, able-bodied people couldn't fucking get out of sleeping in a car. Unless you have one of those people, being Tophia, not doing shit. Because instead of working and helping her brother get all of them and their mom out of this situation, she would rather go to the fucking library and use the public Wi-Fi for hours on end while her brother is working 2 jobs. Shut the fuck up, Tophia.
Without a walker because it's hard for her to walk, and you think it's okay to bully someone because, oh, they have enough issues, I can pile on them. But who's ever asked you how you're feeling? Who's ever checked on you to see if you're good? Because I know you're not good. You take it out on other people.
Girl,
work
projection.
on yourself and your problems and your issues before you insert yourself in someone else's issues. You don't know what someone else is going through. You don't know just how hard I've had to grieve my brother. It was the second 4th of July without him. It's going to be a second birthday. His birthday's coming up in August without him.
And you don't care.
You probably got kids. And I would hate to imagine that something happened to your kids and someone told you you're to blame. Your kid got unalived because you was a horrible mother. You was never there for them. I don't know if you're a horrible mother. I don't know anything about you, but to judge me, but to say something about me, you don't know nothing about me.
Again, we know everything about you because you tell us. You are the source of the information, girl. We know. Stop projecting your terrible insecurities onto other people.
Please. Check your emotions.
Are you done?
How are you feeling? You good? Because I don't think you good. I don't think nobody's got your back. I don't think nobody's asking you how you feeling.
I guess.
Guys, before you speak, think. You don't know what someone's going through. Be better. Do better.
Shut up.
Have a good day. The lack of survive, trying to live, and this guy did what he did all because he wanted a car. He carjacked us. That was not preventable. A carjacking can happen anywhere, and it sucks because people are like, well, you didn't have a place to live, so it's your fault. No, I didn't ask for that. I was asleep, and I tell myself every day I was gonna stay awake and get on my Switch, and for some reason I didn't do that. I went to sleep because I was like, no, I better get some sleep because then I'm tired, and we DoorDash all day, and I'm like, I don't want to fall asleep.
What do you mean we? What do you mean we? You were just sitting your ass in the car. There's no we. Your brother was DoorDashing all day. Are you going to use that as an excuse of why you were tired? Like, shut up. Oh my God, she's annoying as hell.
We're DoorDashing, and I have survivor's guilt. It could have been me. I wish we would have got help. If we would have got help, my brother would be dead. And it hurts because now all of a sudden we're getting housing help, and we.
No, Tophia. Y'all would not have been in that situation if you would have got off your ass and started working a real job. From the second that you found out that y'all was getting evicted. From the time that y'all was in the first motel, you should have been getting your ass in gear and working. So that way y'all wouldn't have had to sleep in a car. And then guess what? Instead of y'all sleeping outside at 3, 4, 5 in the morning when that took place, you and your brother and your mom would have been inside, sleep and safe. So that's why people say you are part of the reason. Of course, you didn't pull the trigger. You didn't want that. But your lack of action, as always, is the reason that happened.
We never got that. And it's just like, why? System failed us. They failed us. I just picture him being happy and smiling. Anytime I think of a car, I get sad because I missed They had car meets and I missed it because I wouldn't have made it in time. And it upsets me because he would have been the first one there. We were all
Again, like, do you hear this? Hold on. I'm gonna go back and play this again because it's not about missing her brother. I'm missing the car meets. And if he was here, we would have been the first ones there. That's all she cares about is his usefulness to her. That's it. So let's replay that part again.
system failed us. They failed us. I just picture him being happy. I'm smiling. Anytime I think of a car, I get sad because I missed. They had car meets and I missed it because I wouldn't have made it in time. And it upsets me because he would have been the first one there. We were always on time to any car shows, any car meets. It's hard. Trying to grieve is hard because I'm reminded. I tell myself I'm going to be okay, but then I'm not. I'm
So
just
full of shit.
back in the car sometimes, and I could hear the glass shattering. I could just feel that moment of being back in the car, and no one knows what it's like because I saw he was missing an eye, and I knew he was dead at that point. And he's like this. I can't. He's in an urn. How do you process? That's the only sibling I have that was living. You know what I mean? My mom did have a daughter before me, but she was.
Oh, shut up. Don't stop bringing up the stillborn sister from years before you was even born. Like, shut up. It's just annoying. He's in an urn. You don't even have the urn. Because, oh, the urn could get stolen. Someone's going to steal my brother, but you went out and bought a Nintendo Switch. Shut the fuck up.
Born dead. I was the only living sibling I had, and it's hard. How do you process? It's like hard. I saw him die. Well, I didn't see him die, but I heard the pop. And sometimes I tell.
You heard the pop and you thought it was fireworks. You didn't even realize he got shot. You literally said you heard the pop, looked up, and then put the blanket back over your head because you thought people were trolling you. Like, whatever, Tophia. Go ahead.
Tell myself if I would have stayed awake, he would have been alive. Maybe I could have prevented it.
How? How in the fuck would you being awake prevented anything, Tophia? Girl, I guess. Okay, Wonder Woman. Whatever you say.
Comes a lot because I have to pay the storage, and I stress and worry about a lot of things. I grieve every day. I go
Right.
and I'm able to do slight things and enjoy moments, and then I'm hurting, I'm upset, I'm crying, I can't sleep because I have dreams about him being alive, and I just wish that this wasn't real, that he was alive. There's a lot of things I deal with. He was looking for his dad, and his dad never saw it before he died. It hurts me. People just don't know.
His dad? He was looking for his dad? Not y'all's dad, not our dad? What? Uh-huh. You ain't never beaten the allegations about Ronald. I'm just saying.
What someone is going through. When I made that video, and I even said I wasn't talking about someone's looks, but that girl has been bullying me for the longest time, and to tell somebody I was responsible for my brother's death is messed up when that is not true. Because if I was responsible, I wouldn't be here right now.
Shout
I would
out
be
to
sitting in
Sabby.
jail. I would have been charged. CVRC would have not helped me. No one knows what that is like. They think, oh, you're happy. You're spending money. You're fine. You're okay. I'm not okay. I can't function. My brother's not alive. And I get in these moments where I'm okay and I'm fine. And then I just break down. And then I get angry. And I get mad. And I ask why.
You need to be mad at your fucking self. Because it is your fault to some degree. Of course, the gun violence itself, no. But there's no reason that y'all should have been living on the streets with two able-bodied people that could work. You refused to work because you thought your little $500,000 or whatever a month you was making on social media was enough. Oh, I just came off my best month of social media with my $3,000. What happened to the $3,000? Why didn't you put in? Why didn't y'all go get an apartment? Why didn't y'all go stay at a different motel? Because you just waste money. You make terrible financial decisions. There's no reason that y'all should have still been in that car. Fucking ridiculous.
Because I don't want to blame God or punish or what I did at one point. I was angry. Why did you let my brother die? Why did you kill him? What did he ever do? It's hard to process. And his birthday's coming up. I tell myself I'm gonna be okay, but then it's just a constant reminder. I'll be driving somewhere. Just like, I know people say that you cannot blame God, but sometimes
You
I
can't.
try not to while I'm learning. Why would he allow that to happen? Even though I know he didn't allow it to happen, that was my question. See, someone told me, I know you're probably gonna question God. It's a lot. And thank you for the gifts. It's not, because I know people are gonna be like, you're just doing it for the gifts, but that's not. It really does suck. Grieving is really hard. People says, oh, you're happy. I try to be happy, but I'm not happy because inside I'm reminded my brother isn't enjoying this. My brother doesn't. I think about all the things he's missing out on, and that really hurts me because my brother will never have kids. He would have made a great dad. My brother doesn't get to go to this concert. He would have loved to see Twista and seeing all these people. I couldn't go see Hillary Duff, and I'm like, my brother would have really wanted to go see Hillary Duff. He would have wanted to see the Jonas Brothers. He would have wanted to do these things, and he can't. And my brain just shuts
Right.
down, and I just don't want to process life because I'm like, why am I living? I'm reminded God spared me. I was the first target. When he came up to the car, he could have took my life instead.
Like, Tophia, shut the fuck up. What do you mean you was the first target? You was fucking sleep. What do you mean? Like, her ego is just on a whole different scale. She is a narcissist. How are you going to say you were the first target, but your brother was the one that got shot? How does that even work? How does that even happen? Before you even knew what was going on, your brother was already gone. But you were the first target? Girl, bye.
Of my brothers. This we went to Savers because we would go a lot, and he would be the first thing he would do when he got into Savers is he would run to the CD section and see what CDs they had to buy. And so he saw this CD and he pulled it out. He was so excited, and he was like, "Look," and he was like, "I know you're gonna want to get this." And then I was like, "Cause sometimes when he gets CDs, man, trust me, he paid me $20 for this Hannah Montana CD I got. It had Polaroids in it, right? It was cool." And he had a whole Disney collection. He's like, I'll buy that off of you. And he just kept begging me. And I was like, fine, because I had went to Savers when I get paid. I said, I better go. I'm not going to tell him I'm going, because then he'll pull up to beat me to Savers, because he took all the good CDs. We have a huge CD collection. Well, he does. I have a CD collection, but he has mostly every CD and all the good ones. If you don't get there, he'll take all the good ones. So he saw this. He was really excited. He's like, look. I know you're going to get it. And I ended up buying the CD. And then sometimes he would get me CDs. I remember, well, that got lost in the car because I wasn't there. It was the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack. And it was the Leonardo DiCaprio one. From the one where Leonardo DiCaprio played Romeo in the movie. It was that soundtrack. And I was so excited. I found it and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to buy it. And one time we went, I had never found or seen a Vicente Fernandez CD anywhere in any thrift store. And I said, I'm on the hunt for a Vicente Fernandez CD, right? Because I had never seen one in a thrift store. I'd never found one there. Yeah, I could have probably found one online, you know what I mean? But I meant I would rather go to the thrift store than pay for shipping and all that stuff. And so one day we're at the thrift store. What do you know? A Vicente Fernandez CD popped up.
Wow.
I was like, you have to be kidding me, because it was crazy. Because I was looking for one, and it's like asking you shall receive. I say that sometimes to people because they ask for something and then they end up receiving it. So I say asking you shall receive, because right after they say it, they end up getting the thing that they asked for and they weren't expecting it. You know what I mean?
Kind of like you've been asking for a house. Okay.
It's just things like that that I get reminded. Sometimes I'm thankful that we weren't angry when he passed away, that we weren't in some sort of argument, that we weren't on bad terms. Because I remember one time we were homeless. We were living out of the car and something happened and I had to change my pants. So I should have listened to my brother, but I took the pants into the thrift store to the bathroom to change them. So then I went to go change my pants and my brothers don't take them in there. They're going to say you stole them. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to change, because we were living out of the car. So where was I going to go change? And I couldn't say, hey, I had an accident, because we had to go to Walmart and I couldn't walk around like that.
Oh my God. Tophia, you couldn't beat this information out of me. Why are you telling us this? You had an accident. Did we need to know? We didn't need to know. You could have just said you wanted to change clothes. Why did you see, like, this is what people talk about when they say you disclose entirely too much information for no fucking reason.
I think I had started my monthly, and that's what happened. So anyways,
oh my God,
I go in there and I'm changing and I come out and sure enough, she's like, do you have the tag for those? And I was like, no, I just brought them in because I was changing. And she's like, well, And then we went to go pay. They're like, well, we're going to have to ask you to leave because I guess they thought I stole them.
Yeah, no shit. You walked into a store that has a bunch of clothes and you changed the clothes that you came in with. Her level of stupidity, it never ceases to amaze me. Like, there's nothing wrong, because obviously they're homeless. So it's like, okay, like if you need to go change in a store that sells clothing, you should probably go up to the front desk and be like, hey, I'm bringing these in. I need to change my clothes real quick if that's okay. Something like, no, I'm just going to do it without saying anything. And then obviously they're going to think I stole some shit because I'm wearing shit that I wasn't wearing when I walked in. Fucking just an idiot. Just goodness gracious.
So they asked us to leave. Then he got mad and he was like, I told you, you never listened to me. And I was like, well, I had to change. I couldn't do that at Walmart because you were going to Walmart and I couldn't walk around with my pants stained. So then
You should have told the lady as soon as you walked in. You could have told the staff that you were going to just change your clothes real quick in the bathroom, so they wouldn't have suspected you of stealing. Fucking stupid ass.
it's very difficult to live in a car, especially on your monthly. But what could you do? Some people
Girl,
think people
shut
choose that
up.
life, but you don't. Anyways,
You did. You did choose that life. What do you mean? I didn't choose that life. Girl, you made $3,000 last January and somehow still you didn't even get back into an extended stay. Nope, we chose to continue living out of the car. Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
and then I just walked off because he started yelling at me, and I don't remember what it was he said, and I just opened the door and I went wham, and I just slammed the door, and then I walked off. I was like, I'm not even gonna deal with this, and then I went back because sometimes you would get really angry, and it's not things that people can't control. And I helped a lot. If it wasn't for social media, he wouldn't have been able to pay off his Jetta. I had just gotten paid, and it was $1,000, and he's like, can you give me $200 to finish paying off the Jetta?
Tophia, if you would have gotten a regular job, you could have been making double that at the very least. Like, you're not, no matter how you try to spend the little bit of money you earn on social media, it's never going to compare to if you would have just been working a regular fucking job. If you was working just any other job, you could have been, even like bare minimum, like part-time, you probably still could have pulled like $1,500 versus the $1,000. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. If it wasn't for social media. No, social media is what has been holding you and your family back this entire time. And it led you, that and your bad fucking decision making with your money led to your brother's untimely demise. Because how the hell you make $3,000 2 months before your brother's passing and y'all were still living in the car? You're telling me between your $3,000 that you made last January and whatever money that he was bringing from his jobs or DoorDash, y'all couldn't have gotten another extended stay? Y'all couldn't have gotten into a motel? Y'all couldn't go out and get a studio, a 1-bedroom apartment? Like, bruh, it's your fault. It's you. You are the common denominator for all of the bad shit that has happened in you and your family's lives.
And I was like, sure. And so I don't look like Miss Netta. That's kind of messed up. But when I see those comments, I tend not to try to react negatively. Because for me, if people believe I'm behind something, then let them. It's so crazy. How could I be behind something when I even know the person who committed the carjacking? And I'm not going to argue with people with what people...
Girl, didn't nobody say you was behind the carjacking? They said you are partly to blame because y'all shouldn't have even been in that situation if you would have just got off your ass.
People thinks I'm just trying to recover. And the crazy part about it is that, oh, you didn't get hurt as bad as your family did. My mom got shot in the face and my brother was shot in the head. Why did you want me to get more injured? Why would you? I don't understand why people would want someone to get more injured than what they were. You know what I mean? That doesn't make sense. You're saying, that's what I was saying. because they're like, you didn't get injured enough. He pulled me out the window. I had little scrapes on my arms somewhere. Well, I don't have them now. They probably went away.
Girl.
But I had little scrapes on my arms, which is not as bad as what my mom got because she was shot in the face. My brother was shot in the head. He died. His eye was missing. He didn't have an eye. I got a little scrapes from him trying to pull me out of the window because someone literally asked me, how did he pull you out of the window through the driver's window? First of all, my brother was in the driver's seat. How is he going to pull me out of the driver's window? The passenger side has a window too. He tried to pull me out of the passenger window. I ask a stupid question like that when you know the answer to that. That literally makes no sense. He did try to pull me out. I didn't say he pulled me out. He tried to. Because he literally said, he didn't say anything. He was angry. And hold on, I'm trying to look for something because I thought I saw something, but I guess not. So what happened was he smashed my window. That's what he did. He was trying to get into the car the whole time. And he was angry because he couldn't get into the car because the door was locked. Mind you, he had already shot the window out. He could have just jumped in. Why he kept trying to get into the car when he could have just jumped in the driver's window like he did after he couldn't pull me or my mom out? That didn't make no sense, right? He kept trying to get in. He was trying to open the door. That didn't work. It was his adrenaline. To be honest with you, when your adrenaline is high, you're not thinking. And I think he wasn't thinking. He was just, his adrenaline was going and he had to like.
Oh shit. Everybody stop and listen to forensics expert biologist Tophia over here. Yes, break down adrenaline for us. Please continue.
Do something. And thank you for the hand hearts or the hand hearts, whatever. So his adrenaline, he was not thinking in the moment. All he was trying to do was, I gotta get in the car. I gotta get in somehow. And it was locked. So he went to my window and he went bam. And he just punched the window in. And obviously he was able to break the glass because of his adrenaline. When you have adrenaline, you don't feel anything. You don't feel pain until after your adrenaline, when you come down from the adrenaline, right? Which obviously he didn't come down from the adrenaline because he was unalived by a security guard. He still had adrenaline at the point when he was unalived because he took off with my mom in the car. But when he punched my window in, he did not feel the cuts or the glass or anything because, thank you for the gifts, his adrenaline was going. So then he tried to pull me out. He grabbed me and was trying to pull me. I was holding my weight down. At that point, I was using my weight to hold myself down because I'm like, I'm not letting this man pull me out of this car. I don't really remember everything because it was happening so fast, but I don't think I was screaming the whole time. Then I remember I was screaming, so sorry, my nose. Everything was happening so fast I couldn't really process. And then so he went to my mom's side, and I could see him trying to pull her out, and he couldn't pull her out. So he went, and the next thing I know, I just saw him fly through the driver's window. He just jumped right in the driver's window because he couldn't open the door. It was locked. So he just jumped in the driver's window, sat on my brother. At that point, my brother was dead because when he jumped in the window, he didn't land on me. He sat in the driver's seat, which was weird how he went through the window because he sat directly on my brother. And then he's trying to start the car and I'm fighting him. And thank you for the gift points.
What? Tophia, log off. Shut the fuck up. You have never at any point in the retelling of this story for the past year have you ever said shit about fighting the guy that fucking carjacked y'all. Get the fuck out of here. Every time she retells this story, there's a new detail, a new fun fact added. The world's most unreliable narrator, because before, which I'm way more inclined to believe, the day after when she was telling the story, she got out the car and dipped, left Mama Chu behind, said fuck that, and she was out. Now she's saying that she was fighting this man while he was sitting on her brother. Girl, you are so full of shit. It is unbelievable.
And the next thing I know, I said, I think I said get out. I don't know, but I said get out. And my mom's hard of hearing because I freaked out and I was like, get out. And I snatched my iPhone and I opened the door, which you have to press the unlock button. I unlocked the door, got out. I was rushing because at that point I was trying to go to the other side to help my mom escape. But before I could get to the other side, because I didn't run away.
Girl, she didn't say none of this shit. This whole entire, because Brother Chu died, last March, I believe. You have never said any of this shit until this live right here. You never said you tried to get around to your mom. You are such a fucking liar, man. This is crazy work. We're reinventing. That's going to be the thumbnail title. We're reinventing the damn carjacking story again.
he had already taken off with the car at that point. Once I got out, he took off with the car. My mom's saying, please let me out. Just let me go. And he's flying down the street because she told me this from her perspective or from what happened to her after he took off. She was scared. She was afraid because I'm not with her. So she said that she told him let me out. And then he goes up Montgomery. He crashed into a Jeep. And at that point, my mom didn't even know her son was dead. I already knew my brother was dead. So I had called 911. First, I freaked out. I was like, help, because my brain was not processing. I had my phone to dial 911, but I was just completely freaking out.
Right.
Thank you for the hard hands. And then I called 911, and that's that 911 call that people wanted to blast online. And I did freak out and say that I think it was from social media because I was getting threats for people to say she told the 911 dispatcher that it was social media. Well, I didn't know what to think. Someone said that they were going to take me from this world right the day before the carjacking happened. Someone, which I have posted in my story, said they were going to take me from this world.
And it's crazy because you was talking about self-defense and how people need to have life insurance. And if people come around you and your family, you're going to pew, 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 pop, pop, pop. We're just going to glaze over that part of the live stream from earlier that night, right? Right.
And I had reposted that. And what was I to think? I didn't run away and leave my mom behind, but whatever. So he crashed into a Jeep. At that point, my mom said, son, call 911. And then she realized he was dead. And then she said, help, something's happening. And somebody told her, thank you for the gift points. They said, ma'am, help is...
Bruh, I cannot take her serious. Like, thank you for the gift points in the middle of retelling this tragic story. Like, what are we even doing? This is... Okay.
On the way. And then they were like, help is on the way. And all she remembers is passing out. She woke up to a blood transfusion, and then she passed out again and woke up in the hospital. Mind you, while all this is going on, they told me I couldn't see her. So when people said, you didn't go see your mom right away, I didn't even allow, thank you for the gift points. Oh, the violin. Thank you for the heart me. I think I know why someone sent that, but that's a cool gift. Anyways, basically, they didn't even let her family see her. So I couldn't see my mom. I didn't even know. I sat in a police car for hours, and they didn't tell me. And a chaplain came. They said, do you want the chaplain to come talk to you? And I was like, I already knew because I had a teacher that was a chaplain. The chaplain comes and tells you your loved one passed away. So basically, I don't remember what he said. He's kids my brain. But basically, he said, sorry for your loss. And I said, are they both dead? He said, I can't tell you that. The police have to tell you. And I just started crying. And I was scared and freaking out because I know if this guy was alive and they were both dead. And then finally, I don't know if it was after they interviewed me about everything. That's when they told me that my mom was okay and that she's in the hospital, and they said, well, but you can't go see her for a day. You have to wait, and you can see her tomorrow. Or I don't remember. I think it was like 2 days or a day or something like that, and then they said you'll be able to see her. But before all that, right, thank you for the hard hands, and I do need to say this. I called the police, and that's when because I freaked out, and I was like, help, somebody call 911, because I wasn't thinking. My coherency was not there because of...
Girl, you are never thinking, but continue.
What was going on. Then, because people want to misconstrue, after I called the police, that's when I made that Instagram story where I was freaking out saying that he's dead, my brother.
Nah. Nope. Not letting it slide. People have already, I don't know if it was the Reddit or the Discord that put that together. They already had like all the timestamps and everything. No, stop the cap.
Brother's dead. He took off with the car, and I was freaking out on Instagram because I was alone. After I called the police, I was alone. So at that point, I didn't know what to do. I was in distress. I was so distressed that I made that Instagram story after I called the police.
And that is a weird fucking thing to do. There's no way in hell I'm going to wake up, realize that my sibling is dead next to me, and we're getting carjacked. I jump out, and the dude speeds off with my mom. And I'm like, you know what? After supposedly, which is bullshit. And once I call 911, you know what I need to do? Let me make a story real quick. Let me load up TikTok or Instagram, click add story, record this shit, and then press send so I can send this out to the world. You are weird. You're one of the weirdest lolcows by far, because your whole train of thought it's honestly, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know how you organize your thoughts to come to the conclusion that this was the thing to do in that situation. It's still baffling to me this day.
And started freaking out on the Instagram story because I couldn't understand why this was happening. I couldn't understand why my brother is dead, why my mom was just taken in a car. If she's alive, the only thing I could think of was my dad, and that's all who I have left. And I really didn't have my dad because he's not on his medication. I was just freaking out so bad.
Yep.
Obviously, you can hear in the Insta story. And then it was like after I called the police, and then the police came. They said, wait right here. The ambulance went speeding off. So the police came in and I saw the ambulance take off and I was like, oh my God. At that point, that really made me freak out because ambulance, that's scary. I was alone, so I walked all the way to the bus stop. And then I said, no, I better kind of walk back because the police are going to come back. They left me standing there by myself until they came back and they got me. And they put me in the back of the cop car and took me to the crime scene. All I know is that I could see the car. I could see caution tape. I couldn't really see much. I saw the clothes or whatever it was that was out of the car from when the car impacted. And I started to freak out. And then I had contacted one of my relatives to contact my mom's brother and then got a hold of the family and they were notified. And then they came and I was sitting there, mind you, it was crazy. I couldn't believe it because I don't know how people knew, maybe because of the car. Some people on social media showed up and one of them was like, sorry for your loss, Tophia. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. My family was in shock. They were like, what is wrong with people? What is your thought process? What is wrong with you? You show up, you're like, hey, I know they might have lived in that apartment complex, but what goes through people's minds? We're at a crime scene. I'm just trying to process what happened to me. And I get people want to give their condolences. I'm not bashing that, but there's a respectable time and place for things.
Tophia, shut up. It's a crime scene right outside of someone's apartment complex. Like, most people, well, I won't say most, but a lot of people will typically want to come outside and see what the fuck is going on, especially if there was literally just gunshots ringing out. I'm assuming the perpetrator and the security guard, there was a little exchange there. So like, yeah, people came outside to see what the fuck is going on. And then of course the Albuquerque Mucinex monster is there. I'm like, oh shit, we know her. Oh, that's your family? Well, we're sorry to hear about your loss. Like, she makes everything about her. As if people from all over Albuquerque just pulled up because Tophiachu is here. Like, shut up. So annoying.
And people was legit showing up from social media.
Sure,
I was just a victim of a violent crime and you just showed up. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. And then, what is that profile picture? It looks like someone, oh, I know what that is. That's from that Euphoria or whatever. I'm talking about myself.
And it's so dumb. Like, Tophia, how would they even know where you were to just show up from social media? Like, you're so dumb. Holy shit.
I'm gonna go get some sleep. I'm just like,
please do.
I need to go get some sleep. I'm thinking about it. I'm freaking out. But anyways, it's a very difficult thing to process. But it was so crazy because I don't know how to process. It was just so crazy. And my aunt and uncle were just freaked out because that's when they got but my family was like freaked out. My mom's family, because like, that's when they got a first glimpse of like social media stuff. It was not a good glimpse of it because that's crazy. You know what?
Yeah, no wonder they wanted you to get offline, you idiot. Well, with that, we're going to wrap up today's video. So we're getting the umpteenth retelling of the carjacking story. Apparently, Tophia wanted to be the hero. She was fighting with the perpetrator in the front seat. You know what I'm saying? Going back and forth. Mom, get out. You got to get out. Get to the chopper. She's so full of shit. Just just reinventing this story every time she tells it. I'm so annoyed. But hope y'all enjoyed the video. I know it's a bit of a short one, but thank you all so much for watching. Big shout out to my Ko-fi members. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing to the channel. Drop a like. And yeah, y'all be safe. Be kind to each other. And I will see you all very soon.